Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yo, checking in with Rhymster and beatrixkiddo. Did I get that right? Hopefully I did.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay, cool. For sure. How y'all doing today?
Pretty good. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. This is
Yes,
my first Father's Day, so I'm enjoying myself.
happy
Appreciate you guys
Father's Day to you,
having
man.
us.
To you.
For sure.
I appreciate you for sliding on Father's Day, man.
Oh yeah, man, I'm going to barbecue right after this.
Oh yeah, you loaded.
So what has your first Father's Day been like so far?
Well, went to a wedding yesterday, open bar.
Lit.
I'm just gonna shake my head. Man, it's good. Woke up with my baby smacking my face. She's 6 months. So they're just pulling on my beard, all type of stuff. So I woke up and then just got ready to come here and just enjoy the day. Took the day off from the studio. Took the weekend off actually from the studio.
For sure. And we got Ever Evolve Studios. So man, what goes on there? Everything. Yeah, break it down, man.
Well, we just expanded to a second room, so now we got 2 studios like in the same hallway. So that one's more like a live room. We do like drums because we have an engineer named Ben Rose, and he's in the metal. He does like metal bands, any type of band you could think of. He's recorded them, and so so that's like our extension as far as like going beyond hip hop. But man, every day is just something new. Cooking up beats. There's got to be at least like 20 projects being worked on in there as far as production, concepts, all that. We obviously, have clients come through in and out. So man, it's just a bunch of stuff, man.
For sure. And I heard all that through the League Champs Volume 1 project, and it's like it was so many avenues. It was like a compilation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I'm trying to say like, you guys formed that off of like how the studio vibes are set up.
Well, I got that idea for League Champs from watching the show called Narcos. The guy in Mexico back then, there was no cartels. It was just like every avenue for itself. So this like guy, he came up with ideas like, well, what if I like unified all these dudes and then we create like like territories and stuff. So he pretty much brought everybody together. And the way I see like Chicago is like we're the most diverse but most segregated city, and the music scene is the same way. Whether you talk to a metalhead, a househead, hip hop, is the same way. We're all like everybody wants to be cliquey. So I'm like, well, why don't we make a project where the metal head's gonna be standing next to the hip hop head's gonna be standing next to the house head, all in one place, because now that things are open up, we're gonna get the League Champ shows going. But my goal with that was just to show that a singer could work with a battle rapper, a metalhead could work with a rapper, whether it be production wise, whether it be lyric wise, and all that. So this project really shows like just the versatility that of the people who are in Ever Evolved and the people who associate with. And then Volume 2 is coming out within like maybe a month and a half, and that one's going to show more features of different artists around the city. So
okay, gotcha. And now that we on this topic, you gotta let me know like who's the members of the crew, because I know a few, but it's like the artwork shows so many people.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to look at it right now.
For sure, because there's so many of y'all.
It's like 18, 19 of us.
At least on that cover alone, and that's not even including just like other people. Okay, hold on, let's see. All right, so we got Kurt Henny. He's our DJ. Heinrich 3000 is a producer from Germany I rock with. Jada Artist, Keem Singing, Can't Buy Deem, Hayward, DJ Hunt, Wilhelm Duke. My homie Ivy in the back, he's from Florida. He got his crew's called Bro Life, but we just, he's like an honorary member. Sure. Lando Coolidge, he's part of Slum Gang, also Ever Evolved. Me, S.A. Way, Nate Broski, Will Bolanos, he's our writer for our blog. beatrixkiddo, Cocky Kid, J Bose, and C-Mac. So that I would say like the main crew, and then you just like it's just so many associates like outside that are
Yeah, that's a nice collective y'all got there.
With
and Ben Rose, I forgot Ben Rose in the corner. Yeah, Ben Rose too.
With so many moving pieces, like how do you know what I'm saying, orchestrate that? Like how do you say you got a singer on a song with a battle rapper? Like how do you mesh all those talents together? Man,
they kind of just like mesh themselves together. So it's like when we're in the studio, when we were doing these sessions, it's like these songs came like so natural. It wasn't like all right, I'm gonna invite you one day. And sometimes it was like that, but other times it was just like somebody put the beat on and we're working, and 4 or 5 people in the room, and they're all different artists, and then within 20, 30 minutes we got like a concept song already going. So I think it's just all about like at the end of the day it's music. You gotta have fun with it. And I know I like metal music, I like some hip hop music, I like house music, I like jazz music. I know the next person likes just as much as I like. So in a room full of creatives like that, like it just goes crazy and stuff. And you got to put like egos aside as far as that, like or trying to outshine. It's like it's a competition. Don't get me wrong, like with one another, but it's still about like the music. I want to make an overall great song versus just like this one part was dope and that's it. So
Where did your musical journey start?
I didn't really start rapping until I was like 18 years old. I was mostly just like hooping. What's funny is like all my life, it's funny. Our parents, they drop seeds in your head and stuff. So all my life has been like, I done heard all kinds of music: jazz, Spanish, blues music, rock music. Just so my brain was always just like being fed that. So when I got into like rapping and music, I feel like I just had like a different ear. Because I was able to just hear things differently. Then I started rapping, then I got into production, then I got into engineering, and then event curation, and just like 30 other different things, that, because I have so much energy, so it's just like all these avenues. But it all started when I was like definitely 18. Illmatic was the reason I definitely wanted to start rapping, because I was like, how was Nas 18, 19 years old and rapping like this? Like, it just blew my mind. And then I just, picked up the pen. And Sub T as well, like if y'all familiar with Sub T 606, they do like a open mic where it's like, they'll invite MCs to come on the stage, and if you freestyle, you basically pass the mic around, and if you suck, the crowd goes 1, 2, 1, 2, then you got to pass the mic. So it gets tense in there. So I started going there because I would just freestyle at parties, whatever. Because one of my homies like, yo, you got to go to this spot, like they freestyle, like you. And I went there, and I've been going there for like almost like 10 years, not 10 years, like 7, 8 years when I turned 21, and then started throwing shows there. Now I'm pretty much just super tight with them now. So that's really where it all started. I would say freestyling for sure. Like that's, you put a beat on, I'm a freestyle. I can't wait to go on Sway and Fire in the Booth and all that in London. Like I see that, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go there and like freestyle, no writtens.
For sure. Do you host your own freestyling events?
We used to have one called Verbal Warfare, where it was like, I guess you say like 8 Mile, where put a beat on, freestyle. We did that. We had like 6 of them, I think. What is it, like 5, 6? Maybe. One of our homies, Mike Booth, he actually won like 5 in a row. Like no one could beat him. Oh yeah. And then there were some close matches people called controversial, but whatever. But I definitely want to get back to it because the battle scene specifically, but there's written, that has risen beyond like all measures and stuff. Like
the battle rap.
Yeah, like in battle rap, like King of the Dot and all those like leagues, like they went from rapping in the garage to rapping at clubs, selling out like almost not arenas, but things of that nature and stuff. So it's like, that art isn't gone. And like I said, Orlando Coolidge, he's a producer and he's an artist that's on Volume 1 and Volume 2. He's a battle rapper. He's been traveling through all that.
For sure.
Now, you say you drew an idea from Narcos.
Yeah.
How often do you actually find something that you watch and read or just see in real life and you actually put it to use in your music life?
All the time. I told somebody, we were on the Shits podcast on Friday, and I was like, it's crazy how I could learn more from shows and movies than I can like going to school or something. Like it's YouTube University. I can learn anything there. So it's like someone came up with this story, someone created it, so you're being inspired by other creatives, and it doesn't matter whether it be songs. And a lot of times, a lot of the samples that I get is from soundtracks of movies or shows, or if I hear a new song or artist, like, damn, who is that? And then a lot of it comes from that, and like that's why I encourage artists. I'm like, yo, get your sync game up, because like, all it takes is one song to be at the end of Power or something, or one of those shows. I heard a Mick Jenkins song at the end of Power, and I was like, I recognize it because I'm a fan of Mick Jenkins, but like, I guarantee you, whoever didn't know Mick Jenkins definitely knew him during the credits. So that's how I look at it.
You say you was at a wedding the other day. So how much of your life is ruled by critiquing other people's music?
Ruled by critiquing?
Yeah, like you at the while the music playing, you like, oh no, this ain't it.
I mean, I try to just turn off my music brain, I guess, like, and be normal when I'm like other places. Like the only time I really I guess you could say, the critique music is like with my clients and with one another. And I always tell my clients is, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a button pusher. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just not say anything. If you don't sound good, I'm gonna tell you don't sound good, or if you're off beat. And a lot of my clients have appreciated that I do that, and like, we do it with each other at Ever Evolve. Because it's like, if that ain't the verse, we'll be like, yo, like, we're not gonna roast you or anything, but we're just
trying
gonna
to
be
get
like,
the best out of you.
Yeah, like what we say, a competition breeds champions. So like, we're always doing like that, and I always encourage people who make whatever kind of music you make, like, listen to other music in your genre. Like there's rap, but there's 30 different versions of rap. Listen to all of it. You may not like all of it, but you gotta understand it and all that. So,
if both of y'all had to say what was special about each other, what would y'all say?
I would say Rhymster has the ability to bring people together. Like, on all different corners of different avenues. It's not just like one set, like a person like rocks with, like a group of individuals. It's just like very spread out, you know. An individual, like, you know, whether it be a person who's just like a very studious, like school person, a person who's got like, you know, some knowledge, whether it be like a lawyer or whether it be like a DJ, or whether it be somebody like in the music industry, like business, like in the underground where we're at, just like to bring them together, like, you know, bringing different artists together too as well. You know, and communities, I would say.
What Dave Chappelle say, and Rick James, like, unity. Man, for her, I would say, like, I don't want to say like intimidation. Like she's like very fierce, a very fierce female MC, and like we know what the female MC is today. It's, you know, shaking ass. What do you call it? What do you call it?
Bubblegum rap.
Bubblegum rap, and you know it's got its lane, but not this. Like you can't say that during females out here that can't really spit. Like she could really spit, and then our other girl on our other homegirl on the project, Jada Artist, like she could really spit. Like they don't rap over their lyrics, like they really in tune with that, and that's what I really push to every performer, that whether we book them or they're a part of our crew, we'd be like, you know what I'm saying, like I want to hear you. I don't want to hear your song. I want to hear you. You know, and if your engineer ain't giving you a performance version, you need to tell him. And like a lot of people I feel like are scared of their own voices sometimes. Like, dude, like so a lot of times some of my favorite artists, I like their music better live than the actual song. I saw a few people and I was like, damn, he killed it live. I'm like, the song ain't even rocking with that kind of energy. So that's like my goal as an artist. Like I want you to see me live and like me live just as much as you like my record.
So you got the producing, you an artist, you got the studio set up, event curation. And you say you brought all these things along at once. What was the one that let you know that you was going in the right direction before, like, you pieced everything together? Because you do them all now, but what was the one that made you keep going?
I guess I would say, like, throwing events, curating events, because that just opened up my network to unity. That just opened up my network to everyone, because, like, I tried to go to Columbia College and they told me 60,000. Yeah, okay. I'm not doing that, bro. Like I'm not doing that. So what did I do? I'm like, I just started basically going out. I first started going out to just every event I could, networking event, hip hop event. I would watch how shows were run, how people are doing it, who's in the community. Okay, this guy throws shows everywhere. This guy does this part of town. And I just studied that, and then I would just obviously get to know them and, you know, show my support. Like, yo, I'm here to support you. Whether it was a good show, whether it was a bad show, organized, unorganized, doesn't matter. Like I was there to see. So I took that, and then once I started throwing events, it's just like this, I guess, like we call it divine intervention. All these people, like, oh, I met this guy, but then he knows this guy over here, who knows that right there. So now my network is just building and building. So event curation was the thing, because one, I host my shows, and then it's all in-house, my DJ, so I can perform my own songs. I could pick the artist I want to see, do that, and then, you know, just I follow people. So whoever's hot, I'll be like, yo, what's good? Like, I'm gonna give you opportunity to perform. You know, I don't pay to play stuff. What I do is I'll give you, like, let's say 20 tickets and they're all $10 a piece. I'll give you 20 physical tickets. Whatever you make off that, you keep that. You know, I don't want any of that. So that way I make sure the artist gets paid, and that shows me if the artist is really gonna go out there and hustle and do that, because the misconception is that you're throwing the event, you have to bring all the people. I'll bring people, but I'm not bringing all the people.
Right. So,
where your fans at, where your followers at, and that's where, you know, the whole social media thing gets like cloudy and stuff, because like how you got, you know, 100K or 30K, but yet
can't bring 10 people.
You can't bring 10 people, or you don't even know how to hold a mic. Something's not adding up here.
So can't even hold a mic though.
How many times have we seen it at shows?
People lip sync sometimes.
At their own shows?
Yeah, I've seen it at one of our shows. I was literally at the side of the stage, and I'm looking at, like, I forgot who I was looking at. I'm like,
they got the track playing.
I mean, he's selling it though. He's selling it. I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's selling it. Okay, bro.
I never like those moments where people perform over their track, especially in such a enclosed and, you know, like special environment,
intimate space.
Yeah, intimate environment, and you literally are performing the track, but we can't hear you. We can only hear the track that's playing.
Now,
in the background.
if it was like you couldn't get the live performance, or maybe like in some situations I have some songs where like they're on old computers that just crash and I can't get it back. Okay, cool, I understand. But your entire set, you might as well get off stage and just let the music play if that's the case.
Facts.
I had one guy, we went to one show, one guy this is a mic, he was just like, while like the song's going, he just turning up to himself. I'm like, hey man, if it works, I guess.
Man.
And we perform out of state all the time, so we see it everywhere. It's not just like a Chicago thing. We've seen it in Florida. I've seen it in Cali. I've seen it, you know, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've seen it in Minnesota. I'm like, and then when we go there and they see that we ain't rapping over our lyrics, like, that just makes her eyes like, oh wait, these people are actually like. Don't get me wrong, you have those people there and there who are really spitting out there, but more than half the time, bro, half these people are spitting on the lyrics.
Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Checking back in with Rhymster and beatrixkiddo. Now, before we went on break, Jay, you say you wanted to talk about networking and everything, so go ahead, lead it through.
Yeah, you was talking about how you would go to other people's events, talk to people, network with people. Now, how important was networking to growing everything that you have going on today?
Oh, it's probably number one thing, because there's people I met 6-7 years ago through networking that still rock with me, that still come to our shows, share our things. You know, even if they moved out of state, they still keeping up with us. There'd be some people I don't even know I run into, and they just start talking about, oh, man, that event. You know, they just start talking about things I like. Because we do so many. I think like in 2019, we threw, what did Eric say, like almost like 100 some shows, and like he did the math. That was like 2 shows a week we did for a whole year. So like. Just
100
imagine.
shows in 1 year.
Yeah, damn near. Because we're talking about like we had weekly open mics, out of state shows. Just literally our calendar would be like first, second, third week of the month. It was like Friday, Saturday, Monday, Friday, Saturday. Mondays because we had Enjoy. If you've ever been to Enjoy in Wicker Park, we were at that Enjoy like once a month. So that was that. You know, so but networking, man. Like even going to other people's events, like. You gotta study your competition. You know, players watch footage of, you know, their games, other people, they study it. So my thing was like, how am I gonna make my events different from other people? You know, that's not necessarily better, just a different experience. Or maybe what are these people lacking that maybe I could step in and be like, yo, let's collab on this show, and then, you know, help put my stamp on it. Because, you know, that's what everybody does. You want to help one another. I hate that whole, if I put you on to someone, like, you're gonna take my fans. Like, fans are not allowed to like more than one artist, like, and that's how I feel about events. You know, if you have an event, I'm gonna go to your event. If you can come to mine, for sure.
For sure. And I see you don't let barriers, anything stop you from networking. I see.
No, I mean, what's the worst somebody's gonna tell me? No.
Exactly.
That's like literally the worst thing. Oh no, I don't want to. Okay, cool. Well, I still rock with what you're doing, and I'll be a supporter, and audience member, and all that. So I feel like people are scared to share their connections. And yeah, there are certain connections, you know, people kind of got to earn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I usually tell people, how'd you do this? I'm like, you can hit this guy up, you can send an email to this. Like, that's how I did it. Like, it's no secret.
Exactly.
So.
Now, you spoke on bubblegum rap earlier. Have you ever felt like you had to do those type of things?
No, because growing up, I was never really like a girly girl. I was more like a tomboy growing up. And so I like, you know, played sports and just like, had a little bit of like a rough attitude, just like a rugged little girl, just like outside and just like playing, just like listening to rap music and stuff. So my mom had like 2 younger brothers, and they were teenagers, and they were always into like, you know, like the rap music, and just like, and that was back then when people were like had their CD booklet, and there was like a bunch of like different like rap artists like in your CD booklet, whatever. That's what people carried their music and stuff. But for me, like, it's been like music's been a part like of my life, like as long as I can remember. And my uncles were like responsible for planting like that hip hop seed. I would listen to Missy Elliott. I would listen to MC Lyte, you know, TLC, just like Eve. I like Eve. I think she's fucking dope. Yeah, like I don't mind like the type of like sexy rap because it goes like for the specific artist, but I feel like it's too common. You know what I mean? Wanted like something like more like lyrical, catchy, funny, sexy, flirty, you know. That doesn't have to be always like too like vulgar, like let me show your body, like, you know, let me see all that goods. I'll give you the goods on my mouth, basically.
Why do y'all think we like spoon fed that though? Because like you say, if you ask me, is more of a scene for lyrical artists than it is for the catchy rap radio records.
I mean, sex sells. I mean, anything. You gotta think about it. Sex sells. Movies, violence. Sex sells. Violence and sex just go hand in hand. So, I mean, I could see why they would push that because you could, you know, play it in the club. all this. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to hear Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole in the club. You want to hear some turn up music. So I'm not knocking the turn up music, but it's just like you can make it.
It's got its
turn
avenue.
up. You can make it turn up, but maybe add a little more spice to it because a lot of it just like sounds the same. And a lot of these females can actually spit. And they got some flow onto them and stuff, but it's
Megan
just
Thee
like
Stallion can spit too.
Yeah, she definitely can spit. But there's some other girls on the come up that like Jay was showing me, and I'm just like, they all sound the same, but because they're doing that same bubblegum. But I'm like, man, if it just took one producer to be like, hey, rap on this beat and rap about this and see how it comes out, they might be bigger.
For the artists out there that don't understand how important a producer is, and I ain't talking about somebody that's just put on the beat. I'm talking about somebody that can help guide them through the proper groundwork.
Like a Rick Rubin or Dr. Dre.
Yeah, how important are those people?
Man, a very important key because, like what I tell, like for example, I'm making a project for her. She's bringing me all 80 samples and I'm flipping them. We have to be on the same page when it comes to creativity. And I'm an MC, so I'm not just a producer. So if I hear like, a bar, she doesn't spit it like sharp, I'm gonna speak up. Like that's the main thing. Like you have to speak up to I don't care if it's your friend, your homies. They get mad, they'll get over it. Or if they do get mad, then they're not really your friend. Because real friends can take critique from one another. So it's important to have, like I said, not just the guy who makes you the beats, but it's important to have that person that could be like, yo, maybe let's go this direction or that direction. And obviously it goes vice versa. You gotta listen to them and see what they want to do. They can help you out on production. Whenever I work with people, I'm like, I want you to sit in the room when I'm making this because I don't want to go send you the beat and then you come back and forth, all that back and forth. No, I like the in the moment stuff because when two people like, because they might, I let artists, I'm like, yo, you come play some hi-hats, show me what's in your brain so I can know what's going on. So, and a lot of times that's led to people who were just artists are now producers now in our camp because it's all about sitting there with me and learning it yourself.
So that's what you could say. You pass on like evolving people's sounds.
Oh, most definitely. One person who's evolved a lot is my homie C-Mac. He's on the project as well. He started off just being an artist. Now he engineers. Now he produces, and that was all within maybe like 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years. But he was just there every day. Not just watching me, but everybody going there and then just learning, then just finally one day like, okay, can I try it? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Who am I to stop you?
For sure. So what can you two say, what's the biggest thing that you learned from making like a compilation album like League Champs?
What's the biggest thing I learned so far? Let's see. That, you can really bring polar opposites together. That's what I really learned because this was like a challenge of a project to make because, putting a guy who's a metalhead with a guy who's, a hip hop head, it's like, you can definitely clash. So I think that was my biggest challenge to be like, how I'm going to make sure everybody feels a part of this project and not just a bunch of just random songs on a compilation. So I would say that.
I would say competition does breed champions. Not like competing like in like a vicious way with one another, but like competing like in a way of just like that person is so raw, like they already spit like some raw stuff, they already like made raw music, I gotta come with some raw stuff, that inspiration, you know what I mean, to like not want to like do like better, but it's just like I got some sauce for that too.
For sure.
I got a little something too.
It definitely made everybody step their game up,
definitely
for sure.
made it,
like I can see the confident boost in every single one of those like people that are on that cover, like in their music, just like in their step, they got that, put that pep in their stuff.
Sure.
How long did it take y'all to make this project?
Probably like 6 months maybe, and then Volume 2 is already like more than halfway done. We gotta add some stuff, add some new music, make some new music, and that won't be done. I produced probably like 75-80% of that. I mixed it and I mastered it, so I'm about to do that. Literally, I'm gonna enjoy myself today, but tomorrow, like for the next month, it's just straight Volume 2 work, League Champs.
Yeah, I think I seen somewhere that Volume 2 is on the way. How soon can we expect that, and what can we get from Volume 2? Like, what's going to be different with Volume 2?
I'm going to say before the summer ends, probably like early August.
Okay.
You guys are going to get it. It's going to be, I would say, more detailed, if that makes sense. Like, you got a taste of what's coming. Now we're really going to, like, dive into it as far as meshing these genres, because now we we threw the paint at the wall. Now we see like what it is. Like, okay, now we can really maneuver that, and we're adding a bunch more features on it for sure. So different cats around Chicago. We got this girl named Fafa. She's overseas in Dubai. She's like blowing up over there. She's gonna put some vocals on it too. So we're kind of gonna. This one was like a little tight knit, but now we're like opening the circle up a little bit more for volume 2.
Going global.
Global.
Going from 100+ shows in 2019 to COVID in 2020, like how did that impact the movement?
Impacted it way harder, honestly, because I thought that, well, I still think that COVID made people have to look in the mirror, like really, like what am I doing? You know, because obviously it's people dying, all stuff. Like, we made you really think about your life. You can't just go to the bar and drink your sorrows away on Tuesday anymore. Yeah. You had to be at home. So with that, like, we got into like live streaming and stuff with the Dog and Pony show, where we do a show called Overly Dedicated. But really, it was more or less like tighten everything up. It made us like get in the nitty gritty of like Ever Evolved and be like, you know, trim some fat, all that, you know, stuff. And then we really just got some new recruits, members. Started taking certain avenues, platforms that were like lacking a little bit. We pushed back up. So to me, it was really just like, I don't want to, it's kind of messy to say, like a blessing in disguise. You know, I've heard a lot of people say that about like during COVID, like it's really going to show who's about it and who's not. And now that things are opening up, I see a lot of people that weren't here, and I see a lot of people that were here, but they're gone now.
Yeah. How did COVID affect you as an artist?
Well, it brought me down from like doing shows, because like we were doing shows like consistently, like through like, it was like how many shows a week? 2 to 3 shows a week.
Plus everybody got their own shows.
Yeah, so it was just like, it was like a slowdown too. But like you said, like COVID gave that opportunity for people to just like, you know, look in the mirror and basically just like, you know, ask yourself whether you're about it or you're not. Like, people stood inside. People just like didn't really, you know, if you stayed inside, that was the time to be creative. But it all depends, like, whether you did something with it or you didn't. But like, it affected me by just like not really having that much shows, and just like work got slow, and just getting back into it, like with the live stream with these guys. I'm just like, you know, that's a way to like, you know, everybody's always on their phone. On COVID, TikTok like went crazy. It just like, you know, blew up, and like people like were marketing their music through TikTok, and you know, it was just like something. It became, it's probably bigger than Facebook right now, I would say. Sure.
We seen so many artists through the pandemic blow up just off TikTok alone.
Oh yeah,
crazy!
Yeah.
So many challenges.
Yeah,
all that. So I heard y'all piggybacking off you guys saying y'all had an artist from Dubai, and I want to talk about your Foreign Connection series. That's really once, because I remember when I first started with iLLANOiZE, you was one of the few artists that was really constantly and consistently sending music through, and I was covering it. But like the Foreign Connection series, that's really the series that made like your music a household name for me. You know what I'm saying? So talk about the Foreign Connection series.
So Heinrich 3000 is a producer from Germany. I still have yet to meet him. I haven't met him yet. I will. I found him on SoundCloud like 6 years ago, because I was just on SoundCloud like, I got to find a raw producer, and I found him, and I just messaged him like, yo, I like your beats. You know, it was good. Let me rap on them. So I paid him, and then after like a few joints, he was just like, yeah, you don't got to pay me anymore, bro. He's like, I just rock with your style and all that. And that was like 5 years ago. So for the past 5-6 years, he's always sent beats. We made music, and then I gave him this idea. I was like, "Yo, what if we do?" Because I had the name like Foreign Connection. I wanted to make like a mixtape or something, but I was like, "Oh, let's do something different." I'm like, you know, so I took like, what is that? The Rush approach, like drop a song a week or a month or something like that. Right. So I told him like, you send me beats, and then he does artwork as well. So all the artwork you see is done by him. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, send me beats, I'll make the songs, and then we'll just drop one a week. You know, one every 1.5 week, and I think I got up to like, it's like 9 or 10. I think it was about that. So I'm probably at the end of the summer I'll drop that like on all platforms. Right now it's just like strictly on SoundCloud, but he goes crazy with the beats, and he's a phenomenal painter as well.
For sure. What's the biggest drop off with working with people from overseas? I know that you can't see him in the physical, but like, what's different with the? You know
well, his appreciation for hip hop and just music in general. Like, he just, I don't know, it just kind of. He like he said, it goes back to the critiquing. Like, he critiques me, you know, and he doesn't. And it's you got to be careful when you type something, because someone might take it a certain way. Yeah, you know. But with him, it's like he's straight up with me. I'm straight up with him about his beats, and it's good. You got to have somebody like that because I feel like we've built this connection over, the internet that when I see him in person, like, we really going to go crazy and all that. So it's just good. And I advise people, like, work with people out of the state, work with people in different countries because you never know that could lead to, that's led to me doing shows in different states and, it's going to lead to different countries and all that.
Networking out of state.
Exactly, networking.
Definitely.
All right, I got Baby Leg queued up. So going into the process of that song, what is a baby leg?
Hey, own interpretation. My homie Kemp by Deem is on that. He says he's like big old blunt, baby leg. So we just roll big blunts, but we had just come back from like Miami. It was like last November. So we were like, you come back from out of town, you have that refreshing like inspiration. So he pulled up to the studio, and I was literally working on the melody, and then probably like 20 minutes in, I'm like, yo, what you got? Because I'd seen him in the corner, mumbling and shit. And then he said the hook. So I'm like, all right, I'll take the intro verse, and then you take the hook and the second verse, and then I'll add to the hook and shit. And then that's how it came to be.
Yo, it's your boy Biko. Make sure you head over to the Apple Store and Google Play Store and download the iLLANOiZE app right now. From there, you'll be able to stream iLLANOiZE Radio live every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m., as well as stream podcasts, watch interviews, check out the latest news, and so much more. So head over there to your App Store and download the iLLANOiZE app.
Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Back in the building once again with Rhymster and Beatrixkiddo.
Yeah.
So with Ever Evolve Studios, you got the league champs. What's differently coordinated this year for you guys? I know this is you guys' first full length project together, but what are y'all coordinating differently this year?
I would say like a bit more strictness on ourselves as far as like releases, content, the way we're pushing it. Like I said, League Champs Volume 1 is out now. Volume 2 is coming out. But then, like Kiddo's got her project. Me and my homie Cocky Kid got a project called I'm Not the Plug, I'm the Outlet coming out. I'm working on Robert Barron 2 for Wilhelm Duke. DJ Kurt Henny and myself are about to drop a beat tape where he played guitar and a lot of stuff, and I helped on the drums. So, I mean, it's just, I got a whole note section on my phone of just like everybody's releases coming up. So we kind of just pinpointing things accordingly. Now with things opening back up, like we're about to hit LA for a week in September. We're planning to go to New York. Then we're going back to Florida in December for Art Basel, and we're gonna do our own shows there. And then working on some overseas shows for next year, like France, Amsterdam, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. So it's just, like I said, just more deadlines. Like that's what this year's really like taught us. Like we have to be more like with deadlines and stuff. Because when you kind of like put a little bit of pressure on yourself, you wake up like, okay, I gotta get this done, done. But it's not. If we got to push things back, we do. But our goal is really mapped out as far as where we want to go and how far we want to take it.
If both of y'all could give y'all younger selves any advice, what would it be?
Don't let anybody tell you different.
Keep doing the same thing you're doing.
Jimmy, what if you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be? I never asked you this question. As many times I asked this question.
Oh man, I would say get it done. Don't take no days off. Even though your day off, get it done. Whatever you got to do. That's all I can think of right now. I'm pretty sure I say a lot of more things, but most importantly, where it's sitting right now, get it done.
Facts. Nah, before we get out of here, give everybody y'all social media so they get in tune with y'all, see everything y'all got going on.
You can follow me at Rhymster13, RHYMSTER13, at Ever Evolved, EVEREVOLVED. If you're an artist looking to get write up on your music, review, you can submit to us. Just look up Ever Evolved, shoot us a DM. Will iLLANOiZE will be there to hit you up. If you're looking to get on events, hit me up. I throw shows, open mics, or if you're looking to get shows, I'll point you in the direction of other people who do shows as well in the city. So, yeah, happy Father's Day as well.
For sure.
You can find me beatrixkiddo everywhere. There's no space between the Beatrix and the Kiddo, so it's just one word. It's combined, like a combination, like force, like basically coming together. So I like to think about it. But yeah, you can find me beatrixkiddo everywhere. I just dropped a project called Kiddo's Tricks in April. You can find that on all streaming platforms, part of League Champs as well too, Ever Evolve. Let's get it.
All right, I got Estrella and Smelling Like That. So go ahead, speak on those two joints before we get out of here.
Estrella is a star in Spanish. That was produced by Orlando Coolidge, who's from the West Coast, who I mentioned is a battle rapper, artist, and a producer. And then it features Keem singing on it. Keem is a very talented vocalist, producer, engineer. And Smelling Like the Universe is a song produced by me, featuring me, C-Mac, Yaz, and Cocky Kid. Shout out to Kid. He came up with that title. He said it in the bar. He said, "I'm smelling like the universe," and it just stuck out. So we were like, "We're gonna call this Smelling Like the Universe."
For sure.